What's going on? Happy New Year. We're here with a new episode of the New Hood Podcast. New year, but it's the same guys. We got Venom, aka Josh Nixon.
No, it's New
We
Year to
got
be.
we got Shawn, and then you got myself, D Braxton. What's up, fellas?
What's happening, brothers? I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in so long, brother. DJ be going ghost. He be going incognito. I be, me and this
Why y'all lie?
DJ, he be out the mix. Like
You can tell when some
he
people
on the pool with us, like on the
business.
That's
I feel what you're saying,
bro. Like, we used to be on COD together. I remember them days, bro. We used to be vibing.
That was good days. 2023 vibes.
2023, that's what it was. That's what
crazy.
It was.
I don't get how y'all wake up daily and just lie on people. But anyway, man, it is a new year. Happy New Year, fellas.
Happy New Year, bro.
And
how'd y'all bring in y'all New Year?
Happy New Year.
At the crib.
In the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We cleaned up the house. Wanted to go into the new year with a clean house.
For sure. Gotta do that.
I just drank a little bit of wine, but like really no alcohol, no none of that. Just
I wish.
I don't even think I drank nothing for real on New Year's.
I wish, because I got a little too intoxicated and I haven't drunk since. So don't plan on it.
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, yeah, brother. Hey. Congrats to you, brother. No, I'm just saying, brother. Like, I believe in you. You know, I got faith in you.
Yeah,
well, look, we into the new year, so
Yes,
just a recap of the old year. I think you wanted to see what everybody was listening to.
Yes, I wanted to see what's the top 5 artists that you listened to in 2023. Go ahead. DJ, I know you got yours pulled up. Yeah, I know Shawn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine was number one was Doughboy, rapper out of Cleveland. Nipsey Hussle was number 2, out of Compton or Crenshaw actually. Lil Zay Osama out of Chicago. I don't know where Sleazy World Go is from.
He was getting active, huh?
Right, and then
that's live.
And then Lil Russell.
Okay.
Gotta have that one.
What about you, Shawn?
So I got Spotify, and I don't care who judging. Hey, I don't care. Hey, they offer 15 free hours of audiobooks, anything you want to listen to. So you for sure right. I'll be listening to it. But anyways,
they do that,
brother. And I got the same music you got, and probably more.
That's how you know you really don't want to have Spotify, because you started off by like explaining.
I seen something the other day. No. The reason I said that is because I seen a post the other day talking about, oh, if you got Spotify, you're really childish. Like,
Megan Thee Stallion said that.
I don't care.
I mean, damn man.
Yeah, I heard that. Who is Megan?
I agree.
Hey, how that foot doing? No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Wow.
That was a joke.
That was a
bad joke. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. Hey, look. No, hey, I don't want no smoke. Now, on a serious tip, I had it, but since I guess the year didn't start it didn't like pop up on it when I tried to look it up. But I know I had a Don Trip on there.
Okay.
Starlito. That Rilo was on there because I was listening to that album he dropped. I was listening to that, bro, dog on there every day for about a couple months straight for sure. I don't even know who else is on there. I had them 3 on there for sure though.
You see how people just see this ain't fair though, because he just get the name drop.
What you mean, bro? It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Hey, Sexy Rail's probably on there. I ain't gonna lie. I listen to Sexy. Hey, going to work, going to the gym or something. Hey, it's Sexy.
I've never.
Hellcat, SRT. Hey, you in traffic? You trying to?
I don't think that ever came through my phone.
Probably. Bro, y'all some haters, dog. Yeah, why y'all hating on a young black woman trying to come up and rise in her power?
Brother, you just said
embrace that.
That's
different. That was different. But this who you
Let's
at?
uh
Venom.
number one surprising. It was Rod Wave. Uh,
Bro said surprising. Brother, you talk about him every day.
Nothing surprising about at all.
okay. To each his own. Number two, I had Drake. Another surprising. Three was Blast. Four was Jacquees, and five was Vito.
Hey, brother, I just want to ask you a quick question. Lil DJ,
Look,
what's up,
DJ,
man?
what's up?
What's up?
See, my daddy don't never let nobody see me. Just they gonna
I'm
see
gonna
me.
show my face. Hey, I'm gonna show my face. You better believe it. But Lisa, I want to ask you, brother, you okay? Everything all right at home?
Yeah, everything lovely. What you talking about?
Oh no, I was just, brother. I just,
Let
I
me
want to
see what
check
that
in.
say.
I want to create that safe space,
Damn,
for my brothers, and just make sure
brother, if
that.
you asked anybody, DJ, did you not hear who he was listening to? His body, at your body. Like, what's we talking about?
I was honestly surprised. I mean, granted, if I went a little bit further on down the line, it's Anita
yeah.
Baker. You know what I'm saying? A lot of R&B
There you
right
go.
after that.
At
I
the
You know what I'm
see
bottom of
saying?
the line.
you.
At the
And
bottom of
like
the
really
line.
right after it. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Anita. Right there. Man.
Hey, I see. Hey, every killer got a soft side, man.
I
yeah,
really don't feel like it's fair though, because I feel like I listen to a lot of songs by like one or two people a lot of time.
yeah,
If
I ain't
that
gonna
makes
lie.
sense.
Like I kept going down, and it showed like the most songs played and like the most albums, and it kind of that's when it was kind of different, but for the most part, the same.
Yeah, mine is mainly because it's like specific songs that I listen to the same songs every day.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. Wasn't surprised. But yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Uh,
it's a good wrap up. Nothing crazy.
yeah.
One, two. I ain't gonna lie. Braxton's list did kind of shock me.
It
Because I
surprised
didn't
me.
know
I
who
ain't gonna
those
lie.
young men were, so I still don't. So that's the only reason why it surprises me.
Mhm.
But no,
Y'all never heard of Doughboy?
no, I heard the Doughboy,
I feel
but
is
the
it DOE?
other,
Yeah, Doeboy.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I
I heard
have
the
heard
He
him.
Doughboy,
with
He
he with
raw. He
Future.
raw. Yeah, I heard him. He
Yeah.
raw.
but
He raw.
them other, them other young men, I didn't know them. Besides Lil Russell, I knew Nipsey, Doughboy, Lil Russell, but them other two,
You
yeah,
didn't
I
LaRussell
know
was on
guess.
my
You
list.
didn't know
I
who
just
Nipsey
found out.
Hussle was. You said. Oh, you said
No,
you
I said I
did
did.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
LaRussell probably was on my list too, because I found out about him this year, and I was heavy on him
Yeah, yeah.
because I switched up my like what I be
You
listening
bought a
to,
house
because
and
it look,
became a
if we talking
suburban.
about 2022, oh, it was straight young boy, straight dirt, straight,
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Then
But
you bought a house, moved to the suburbs, and changed on them. That's what
brother,
you
I've
did.
been in the suburbs, brother. I've been in the
No,
suburbs.
no, it was different. You was in the suburb for other reasons, but I ain't gonna talk about
Hey, next question, brother.
it.
Next question, because I'm not
Got
even
him.
for entertaining his foolishness. Next question, brother. He wants somebody to get caught up on the Rico so bad.
You muted,
DJ Mute.
Brody.
Oh my bad. I was saying since we doing the recap,
Okay.
Nixon, what's your resolutions? Well, what's some accomplishments you had this year? And then on top of that, what's a resolution that you're looking into?
Accomplishments. I turned my work section around. I'll say, um, started my master's program. Um, so I think those are like probably like my biggest accomplishments. Um, far as what I plan on tackling or want to do this year, finish my master's degree, like 4 classes away. So as long as I stay with that, be a more active parent, especially with the youngest, with his diagnosis, kind of showed me like you can't get mad when you just leave kids. Like if I give him a juice, for instance, I can't expect him not to want to pour it in his toys, and then I get mad when it's all over the carpet and stuff. So it's more just want me to be more active and pay attention and do more like things with him as far as like instead of relying on other people to help, like you were saying with things, just do more things with him. So I think that's the biggest thing is become more of an active parent that I'm already is instead of like we do stuff, but then we'll give each other like a 3 hour break or things where everyone could do what they want to, but just still do that more family things. I think that's my biggest thing. So master degree and be more active. And of course, gym, stay in the gym. Hit 315 this year. Bench 315 is the goal. I'm at 300 right now, so bench 315. I think that'd be it. What about you, DJ? You muted.
Damn it. Why I keep doing that? Accomplishments was basically getting like back into school the way I needed to pretty much finish that up. So I'll be pretty much done with that in a little bit. So that was a huge one because like it's not that I couldn't do it; it's just that I just didn't want to and didn't really have no. I didn't have to, so I
Yeah.
kind of let it be. But then other things that I saw that probably could have been a little bit further ahead and all that if I did, was yeah, it was just one of them things that if I would have really put a little bit more effort, school wise, I'd probably be a little bit more ahead. So I just kind of jumped into it, really the year prior, but like last year was when I put like I mean I think I took like 8 or like 10 classes last year.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you
yeah, it
moving
was
there, brother.
yeah. So it was just something that I finally like kind of found my groove, which was kind of dope. Um, and just kind of being a little bit more patient, just in general, parenting and all that stuff. I think that was a bigger accomplishment and all that stuff. So uh, going forward, I think I just want to continue a lot of those things. Want to continue to add on to those things. There ain't nothing like specific that I like just have to accomplish. Outside of wanting to like, obviously like promotions and all that good stuff. Hopefully that all works out if it's my turn. But yeah, that's really it, man. Just being like you, kind of like what you were saying, just being a little bit more active and understanding and patient with parenting and the whole, ordeal. Because kids can be on your absolute last
Yes,
nerve, but it's
yes,
like
sir.
they didn't ask to be here. So at the end of the day, you got
Facts.
to do your part.
Do your
So
part.
yeah, that's one of my things. Yeah, that's my goals for the upcoming year.
Sean, did you want to speak of what accomplishments you had last year that you felt like you accomplished? Because I know you accomplished a lot, brother.
Uh, so for like me last year, I know I for sure the biggest accomplishment that I would say was like, or one of my biggest ones was I bought my land that I had been
Okay.
talking about for so long. We bought 10 acres in Texas. Um, Unfortunately, we ended up selling it, but it did give us a
Yeah.
piece of like what we wanted, what we fantasized, what we had manifested and brought to reality and stuff like that. So it just helped us realize what we want and how we're gonna make sure that we make different decisions in the future and stuff like that. So that was good. I think last year we homeschooled our kids. That was the first year that we had homeschooled my daughter. My son was already homeschooled, but we homeschooled my daughter last year, and we're doing the same thing this year. So that was
How
another
was that?
nice thing. Um, Honestly, uh, it was nice. It was
Okay.
nice in the sense of having that freedom of being able to, move when you wanna move. As far as like, okay, if we want to go on vacation, let's say we want to go to St. Louis next week or something like that, having that freedom to be able to do that. But outside of that, like also having that freedom and that range of motion to be able to teach your children what it is that you want them to be taught, as opposed to, them being taught a certain curriculum that's standard across the board. And as well as like outside of that, like uh for my daughter to actually learn because we kind of did an experiment, so to speak, where my son was homeschooled. My daughter, she went to school because her mom wanted her to do that or whatever. So we did it the first year, and when she went at the end of the school year, there was no real growth. There was none. And then me and my wife, we broke it down, and it came down to like in our head, the math that we did, it was like real teaching time was probably like an hour at that age. And so it's like, okay, well, she's gone 8, 9 hours out the day. And, she's only getting a real solid hour of teaching. When you break it down from lunchtime and recess and other kids interrupting and the teacher having to spend time. You got 20 kids in one class, 4 or 5 years old, 4 or 5 year olds in one class, and the teacher having to get on this child because she's trying to teach something. This child's not paying attention, so she having to say something to him. So she stopping her instruction, and then she has to get on this child because now he done got off test and she done got this one on test. It really brought into realization, a lot of that, and being able to give the children that individual, attention, and catering to their individual like learning needs at home is really helped the kids grow a lot. So that's been beautiful within itself. Um, but outside of that, just being able to like everybody said, just be able to be present and help the kids or help yourself realize what it is that the kids is like learning and stuff like that. And I got to give a big shout out to TikTok. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, TikTok is just a whole bunch of BS and nonsense and stuff like that. But for me personally, I do get a lot of like educational or a lot of like mind altering material out of it. In the sense
Okay.
of like, I seen a TikTok one day, and I don't know if it was a lady or a male who was talking, but they were saying that you driving in a car or something, right? And you going down the street, and your child points out, "Dad, look at that tree. Mom, look at that tree. Dad, look at that dog. Mom, look at that dog." And we look at it as like we have seen this a million times. Like it's a mutt on the street, or this is a pine tree. We can seen that. It's in our front yard. But for that child that's just coming into this world, that stuff is still new to them. So being able to like embrace that and realize that, and just understand that it's still an exciting time for them, and trying to like cater to that and nurture that, so that they appreciate it even as they get to our age and stuff like that. That's been a major lesson for me. So I think that's the biggest thing. One thing I will say I did fail on was I said I was going to get my first investment property this year. So I know a lot of people talk about what they did accomplish, but I'm gonna
Okay.
talk about what I did fail at. I didn't get my
Okay.
first investment property this year, but 2024, look out.
Okay.
That's all I'm
At
gonna
least.
say. I ain't gonna say too much because I don't like to speak on it. Like I told y'all, I don't like to speak on stuff because when you speak on stuff, for me personally, it doesn't tend to come to fruition. But 2024, watch out. That's all I'm
Hey,
gonna say.
see,
That's what's up.
man. Hey, fuck with you. Hey.
Yeah,
Hey.
Nixon ain't give me that loan money. He told me he's gonna give me the down payment on it. He got all them racks over there. Him and
Hey, do
DJ,
me a
they said they
favor.
was gonna go 50-50 on it. And
Do me a
then
favor.
I ain't never
Don't you
heard
lie to
from him
these good
since.
people. Hey, I like to keep our fan base honest. You don't need to lie to these great people.
Yeah, if you
I
know
hate
me,
for them
you
to hit you
already
up.
know that I'm
So,
cheap.
hey, I hate for them to hit you up trying to believe you.
Yeah, yeah, man. So I had an impromptu question for y'all, right?
All
And
right.
I'm just kind of gonna lay it out first. So, there was this young guy at my job, or whatever, and the young guy apparently, he's very much a guy who doesn't really get girls really at all. Like he's always in the friend zone, right?
Okay.
So, with me being kind of like the flight chief for the area, like people just, they tell everything. So they got to talking about him and all that, and they was talking about how he like they was basically saying like, yeah, they pretty sure he a virgin, pretty sure he never had a girlfriend. They're like, but he's not a like bad looking guy. They was like he just acts very like nerdy slash like dweebish, like very very like off like he's just a little weird, what I'm saying. He gives off like a real good friend energy, but like he doesn't have like he can dress. Young guy
And I was
can
about to
dress.
say, in your opinion, do he has like the like confidence
I don't think he
or
has the confidence at all.
Okay,
He
that's fine.
always, whenever there's a girl, he always attaches himself like the friend.
Okay.
How they always play it out. It was like that's why he'll never like ever. That was basically saying like they think that he's a virgin. He'll never
Yeah.
get a girl or whatever because he always
See.
attaches himself like the friend. So I was like, me, I'm talking my stuff or whatever, and I'm like,
I
yeah,
know.
man. I like, man, we gonna have to get with little bro, man. Like, I like, we just gotta have a couple conversations with him.
Yeah.
But my question to y'all then is, because I mean, obviously we're all married, so
Hmm.
we don't necessarily we can say that that's not an issue for us. But if you were giving a young guy advice on how to like what should be some things he should be doing uh to put himself in position to get a girl, what would be your advice to a young guy in his 20s, early to mid 20s? Like what's something that you think he should do, like definites and definitely nots, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely not, right?
Yeah.
Don't go get that Hellcat. Cause that I wouldn't have got that charges thing, it was just gonna be falling on me, boy. Hell no, don't help.
Hey,
Not
you're not
gonna help.
wrong. Not
Not
wrong.
gonna help.
Okay.
Not wrong.
But I definitely think the biggest thing really is just that confidence aspect of it, man. Because you can approach the baddest woman in the world, and if she feel like you about your business and you really feeling yourself, like you love yourself, and you approach her with that same uh perspective, she can't do nothing but respect it. Even if she say no, she's still gonna take it. She gonna take a second to stop and look at you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really like Nisa said, about the confidence or whatever. I think that's really just the top of the line thing about it, because confidence make or
Yeah.
break you. Like, because a lot of people be scared to approach a bad woman, a bad female, because she looks a certain way. Like you feel like I'll never stand a chance. Well, if you go with that stance, you go with that approach, then yeah, of course she ain't.
Okay, question for you though with that. When you say confidence, you got to think about this because now we're talking about a guy in his 20s, right?
Hmm.
Right?
How do you get him into like, because obviously confidence is an issue. It's like
Yeah.
confidence is a clear issue with him. So what would you like, how would you fix that? How would you say like this is how we fix your confidence? Because like anybody can say like,
It's
yeah, you
easy.
gotta have, you know what I'm saying, but how do you do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, like the answer is easy, but the work is hard.
Okay.
The answer for me is to love yourself.
That's
That sounds
I
crazy,
know.
right? That sounds crazy. It sounds one too simple, but it sounds crazy. But the reason that I say that is because there's something that you don't love about yourself. There's something that you're insecure about within yourself or about yourself that makes you feel like you're not worthy to approach this female or approach this woman, or even if you into that, approach this man or whatever the case may be. Um, so you have to embrace those flaws and
I
love
think
those
he likes
flaws.
girls. I'm pretty sure he likes
I'm
girls.
not talking about just
Yeah.
him. I'm
But
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
for
no, I
any of
got
our
you.
listeners that may be
I got
listening,
you.
brother. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got you. I got you. Because I mean, we're not friends on Facebook or none of that stuff, but I mean, just in case.
That little man
Yeah,
probably might be like, what?
yeah.
No, I'm just speaking in
Pretty sure he
general
likes girls,
terms.
but
I'm
I
just
feel you.
speaking in
Nah,
general terms. I'm not speaking about
respect,
bro in particular, but
Yeah.
respect.
um, just learning to embrace those flaws and embrace those imperfections, and learning to love those things about yourself. Because if you don't love them, somebody else sure ain't gonna love them. And that's the way that you was created. So that's something that you can't change unless it's something like, I mean, I don't know, like something like, oh, you don't like the way that you dress. Okay, well, change the way that you dress, like, and then go about it that way or whatever the case may be. But just embrace yourself and embrace who you are, and love that. If that person can't love the way that you come, then that's not the person for you anyway.
For me, when I say confidence, I mean,
Yeah.
you say that he's a nerd, but I feel like nerds are up. So I'll say embrace that.
Up,
It's so
E.
like my biggest thing is like so that's when I say confidence is basically like just learn to, like Shawn was saying, love yourself, but also be comfortable like by yourself. Like for a long time I wasn't comfortable by myself. And I think that's why I kind of struggled. Even in my 20s, like when it was a party, everything was cool, but like actually being by myself, like it was a struggle. And I think that like that kind of fed on me being clingy and wanting someone else to kind of fix those issues, right? So that's why I mean, like, because I used to tell you all the time, dude, I used to get jealous because you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the movies." So I was like, "By yourself?" I was like, "You just gonna go by yourself?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's crazy." Like,
Love it. Still do it to this day.
and, and to me, that's always been crazy. But
I'm
then I
actually about
found
to get
out,
on the
like,
internet and find a movie now.
you know what I'm saying? But I seen like once you got comfortable just being by yourself, like that emulates, and people are attracted to that because people will be like, okay, he's confident. The second thing is definitely a don't emulate social media. Don't like if you go after something that you want, don't go for the girl for a big butt, and then you actually don't like big butts. Don't go for the girl with just these stuff just to say like it makes no sense. But you see so many young dudes do it for bragging rights because everything is just it's a moment in time. I have to show this off. It's like at the end of the day, like Shawn was saying, like you have to love yourself and be happy with your decisions. Don't pretend to be something you not. That's why I don't go get the charger when all you wanted was you could have wanted a Kia. Like get your Kia, bro. Like, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get somebody, and then they're gonna think this is who you are, and then you're gonna get caught in the loop of trying to act, and you're gonna be very unhappy, although you have everything that you want. So
Man,
that's what I said. And like Shawn said it perfectly. I mean, the answers I'm giving you, it sounds easy, where it's like a light switch, but it's actually not. It actually, this is not a 2 month plan. This is not a 3 month plan. This is something you got to
a
continuously
lifelong
work
thing.
on. And that's the sucky part. Not gonna lie to you. I wish it was the answer to be like, here, bro, drink this. And next thing you know, he walked in there, and everybody like, hey, who is this? This man that turned into, hey, but it's not. So, but I'll say, like, if you a nerd, embrace that, bro. Nerds are up. Like, embrace that. And if you talk to a girl and they don't like that, it's clearly she's not for you. Hey, I can tell you, go to Comic Con, you'll
Like
find one.
to
You'll
to
find one.
to follow up on that, like that song, I think we reviewed it on the pod a couple episodes ago, but what did he say? He said they make the smart niggas look
Oh,
goofy and make the goofy niggas rap artists.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
the dude from
they
Detroit.
glorify them. Man, don't be trying to like bro said, don't be trying to emulate no man. Like be yourself. And I think that's something that I fell victim to for a long
Oh,
time. To
I
be
definitely
honest,
felt
like
victim. I was
I
wearing
feel
all
like
that polo. I didn't even like it.
I
Polo boots. I lived them things, boy. Hey, Brax, I was at the crazy part is, I was wearing them so much. Brax said, "Hey, do me a favor, wear these." He gave me some Nike boots.
Hey, I think that's a down south thing. 'Cause I'm sure I had the man. Everybody was rocking the brown ones, the
Yeah.
brown leather ones. Nah, I had the suede gray. It was hidden
I
too.
mean,
Trying
even
to
though
put them
North
with
though,
everything.
people was wearing no polo boots because I definitely had them brown joints
Yeah,
for
you
a
gave it to
little
me.
minute.
I took it.
Oh, it was them the
Yep. I said, "You gotta get this." Funny story, quick story. Braxton dressed me for my first date with my wife. I came out the outfit, thought I was killing him. Brax said, "Okay, you going like that?" But he said, "Okay, hold on." He went and got a polo shirt with the polo boots. He was like, "Hey, bro, just put these on." He said- hey, man, you couldn't even. I just took it. That's
Hey
okay.
man,
It worked. I'm married. I mean, she
I
married.
ain't never gonna lead you. I ain't gonna never lead you down the path of unrighteousness, man. Look, man.
But I will
But
say,
no, but I'm about to
no, go
say
ahead.
definitely take bro under your wing. I know you are because that's just the person you are. But hey, definitely just give bro his confidence.
Yeah, man. Well, I know y'all was giving a lot of this like philosophical stuff, and I feel that, and I think it is important.
What you
Bro,
say?
can
But I
say
but
something.
I
He
got
can
some
say something
things that
for.
will
Oh,
What you
what?
instantly
say, so, bro?
will
You can say something
instantly
for a
like
shooter, bro.
shoot you up the poon tag
What
meter.
is it, brother? What
You
is it?
all first of all always make sure you look good and smell
Okay,
good. That's gonna
Okay.
okay.
be number one.
All right.
Number one, if you make sure every time you walk past a girl, like you smell good,
Does he
that's
have
gonna.
cologne or does he wear cologne?
I mean, we always at work, so honestly,
Oh, okay.
I don't, you ain't really
Yeah.
supposed to.
Hey,
I didn't know you really
what
ain't
you need
supposed
to
to
wear it
wear.
the most?
Well, yeah, when I worked in the hospital, I
He said,
That's
definitely
what
brother.
I'm
was.
saying. Like,
Yeah, I definitely kept it on, but I didn't realize until later on when I became like supervisor stuff. Technically, you're not even supposed to wear
Nope, the fragrance
cologne.
people can be
Yeah,
allergic.
the
Yeah.
free. Yep. But I definitely had that on.
You
And
got that shit
it
on?
worked. It worked. I'm telling you. Those are first two things. Make sure you look good. Make sure you smell good. That shit will
Okay.
shoot you up the meter very, very, very quickly. And then just being honest. Just being honest. Like, because what's crazy about this guy. So I have been outside of work with him one time. It was for a
Okay.
going away thing. And like bro had on like some Yeezys and he had like the Fear of God sweater on and like some purple jeans or whatever.
Okay,
I
wait,
mean,
before you finish, did he when he put it together, did it look like he put it together or did it look like he was like a hype beast put it together?
I
Because
mean,
that's a different thing.
I think it was put together pretty well.
Like a passion.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying. Like, was it like a did it look like a passion thing, or did it just look like, oh, this is what everybody's wearing, so this is what I'm putting on type deal? Because you could tell the
nah,
difference, kind of a little bit.
So this is the thing. He's like one of them guys. And once we hung out at the little going away thing, and then like when he come by my office, he always come and kind of chop it up. Like he's like one of those like the like a sneaker nerd or like a kind of fashion nerd. They're not necessarily like
A
they
fashion.
don't use that to their advantage. It's like yeah, they might have all that stuff on, but they don't even wear it confidently. But like, when I would work on the floor from time to time to help out and stuff, I'm always throw on some nice stuff or whatever. And he always know what it is. And then even when we went to the little going away thing, he said, "Oh, okay, sir, Brax, I see you got some buffs on. You know what I'm saying?" He was talking like that. But like I said, he's kind of like a shorter, like kind of husky guy. Very, very like soft spoken, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, he gives off like friend zone energy, like extreme friend zone energy. So that's his problem, and I think his issue is that he's not honest. Um, so I think, like I said, look good, smell good, and be honest. Don't go into this. Don't ever go up to no girl like that you just met trying to be her friend. If you already in the back of your mind find her attractive like that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. If you don't even, and this is only if you already you're already a person that has trouble getting girls. Like a person like me, when I was like single and dating, I could be friends and still later on down the line something could come of this. But that was because I was being honest from the beginning and I wasn't necessarily pressed for like that person, you know what I mean? But if you already having issues getting girls, the last thing you need to be doing is jumping straight into that friend zone area because
Hey,
it's hard to get out of the friend zone, you know what I'm saying? So
It was
hey,
doing
at
that.
the
uh
same time, to I got two things to touch on that. First thing is his brother. He says you little husky. Hey, this your season. Girls is looking for somebody to warm them up. This your season. Get in there, do your thing.
Not wrong.
That's the first thing. That's first thing. Second thing is be honest, but don't be too honest. Don't go up to this girl you just met her talking about, I want to marry you. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
no, 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 no.
Hey,
I mean, like, hey, I would like to take you out from, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
You
hey, what do you do? You
be
know what I'm
too
saying? Hey,
straightforward.
could I take you out sometime?
You
If
got
it's a
to have
no,
flavor.
okay, bet. But
Cool.
if you just always jumping into like, hey, we should hang out, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's completely like the energy you giving off is platonic. Like that's what you're going to get, and so you have to be honest in the sense of like if that's not what she's looking for out of me, she might not want to hang out with me no more. You know what I'm saying? Because like some guys, I think a lot of dudes who have that issue with the friend zone, they do that because they don't want to screw up the possibility of them still being friends. And it's like you got to be honest enough with yourself and confident enough with yourself to like, if this girl don't want to hang out with me because I asked her, like I showed some interest in her, then oh well. You know what I mean? So like these are things that are going to shoot you up that ladder very, very quick. And if he is a virgin, because a lot of them at work were saying, "Yeah, I think he's a virgin," say that because there are people that
Hey, look,
would
Hey,
love to be the
hey,
person that
look
takes
at it.
that from you. You know
that
what I'm
boy gonna
saying?
come in with a babe. Yeah, he used to not wear
Yeah,
cologne at work. Hey,
yeah, man. So like,
When he come in with that
honesty.
swagger and he taking, your old ladies you was talking about, I'm talking about, oh, he a virgin, he a virgin. He take
Hmm.
your old lady. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, because it was hey, more power to him. But
Not you,
yeah,
not you, brother. I'm talking about the other folks
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
no,
coming to
no.
you
But
like,
this the thing. A lot of them is girls who's saying it. You know what I'm saying? And it's girls that he hangs with, and they know they like, yeah. He just like one of the girls even knew that. You know what I'm saying? He had a thing for her, but she like, oh, he's just not ready for that. And I was like, and my mom was like, yeah, because he's giving off friend energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I say, like, you got to be honest about that type of stuff. Because, like, you riding them around and picking them up from, the club, it's like, bro, that ain't the move. You know what I'm saying? So,
Say
yeah,
that's a dangerous game. And you playing
yeah,
Russian roulette. Don't do that.
right. So, yeah, that was my only question to y'all on that one, man. What kind of
Hey,
advice would y'all give to a young man that's having dating issues and he's in his 20s and he's potentially a 20-plus-year-old virgin?
hey, 40-Year-Old
So,
Virgin was a great movie, so don't rush it, bro. Don't rush
yeah, yeah, okay. But yeah, that's all I have for that question, man. Y'all want to hop to the next one?
it. Yes, I think it was what's the if there was one person you could interview, who would it be and why? Sean, we'll start with you since we started with DJ Land.
Brother, y'all be talking about me when I get my ass. Y'all be like, bro, that's so cliche, brother. Like, why would you say something like that? Like,
Brother,
that's
no
so
one has said
simple.
that.
That's so basic.
You just set it up. I
It's
just
crazy.
go say it. You
It's
just said
crazy.
it.
It's crazy.
Live your truth,
But
brother.
That's all we want this year.
I be wanting to say like some major influential person and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But honestly, I really gotta say it'd be my grandfather that passed away.
Okay.
I say that because he was a silent man. Like he was a man of few words. Let me put it that way. Like he didn't say much, but you could like look at his face, you could look in his eyes and stuff, and you could tell that like he had some stories to tell. And like a lot of those stories started to come, or some of those stories, which I don't even feel like scratched the surface, started to come out like after he passed and stuff like that. And it kind of made me like regret like not taking that time to like ask those questions because I feel like when you are, I mean, not even, I wouldn't even say youthful, but when you're living life and you just think that you have so much time, bro. Like you think that you have so much time to like do all these things and stuff like that. But the reality is like you don't know like what your clock is. Like you don't know when it's gonna clock out. Like so, I think I would have took that time to like ask him, just about like life and about like everything. Honestly, like just picked his brain realistically, like that would be it for me. That's just as simple as it gets for real.
All
Okay.
right, DJ. Who you got? Who you got?
Uh, I think mine, if it's anybody dead or alive, I'd probably want to interview Malcolm X.
Okay.
Um,
Hey, I
and
knew
I
that was
think,
coming too.
yeah, it'd be Malcolm X or
I was gonna say Farrakhan.
Huey Newton. Like somebody like that. It would be if it's possible for them to see how the world is now and all that stuff, and like what do they think? What are they, what's some ways we could progress? That type of stuff. What their life was like for real, when they were during their time. It would probably be in that sense, you know what I'm saying? If I'm asking, I mean, if I'm being honest, another person would probably be like a Nipsey Hustle. But yeah, those are probably my two, just because I think they both had. I mean, I don't think Nipsey Hustle is on the same. I don't think philosophical level as a Malcolm X, but I think he was a very he was a very intricate and good thinker. So it'd have been good to hear a conversation from one of those two. But yeah, that's probably where I would go with it.
To kind of touch up on you before you go, Venom, to kind of
Yeah,
touch up
go ahead.
on the people that you spoke on. Do you think that if they were still existing today, still walking this earth in a physical sense, do you think that it would have been the way that it is? Like, do you think we would have been in the state that we are? I mean, granted, do I think they could have changed the whole nation or a whole
Bless you, bless you.
thing of people?
Appreciate it.
Like, probably not, but you know.
I think I don't know about Nipsey Hussle. I mean, because he,
But no, I'm talking about
yeah,
more so
but
like
like
Huey Newton
yeah,
or Malcolm X.
yeah. I think if they were, yeah, I think things would be a lot different. I don't know if I don't know if it would have been like so drastically different, but I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, I think there would be like a drastic difference in our world because there were so much those two people specifically, Huey and Malcolm X, like they
especially
had,
Huey.
yeah, they were not only like very like complex thinkers, they actually had plans and stuff like that in
Right.
place. And then like once they left, like entire movements like left with them, you
Uh,
know. So I think, yeah, it would be something, yeah, it would definitely be something completely different. Um, unless there was some way they could have tricked them off the streets in a different way. But yeah, I think things would be drastically different because of like where they were and what they were thinking and stuff that they wanted to put in place. So yeah.
Venom, you got any input on that? Because I got a follow up to that too.
no, no, go on.
My bad. Uh, my follow up was gonna be not only do you think that it would have been a drastic difference, but do you think that's a detriment to well, I mean, I feel like personally it's a detriment to us to not have I won't even say a second in line, but like just a broad upbringing of people with these same like morals and principles instilled. Because when you have someone like Huey, or you have someone like Malcolm, or you have someone even like Martin, that are assassinated, um, we kind of lose that momentum because there's nothing else. Like there's nobody else to take that lead, take that charge. Do you think that's
Uh, I think that like I understand why you would say that, but I would say that it wasn't as simple as like those people died and just the movement died with them, because if you look at like things like the counterintelligence program and stuff like that, or what people call COINTELPRO,
right?
they it wasn't like they just targeted the top. They targeted the whole system.
Everybody in Huey, so
So yeah, so
I
it
know
wasn't
for sure
just
for sake.
them who were either killed or you know arrested. I mean, it was the like they basically targeted the entire like group. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a. I think there was definitely a hierarchy, and the whole hierarchy was
Disbanded.
destabilized. So, which brought us where we are, and then obviously you bring things like drugs into the community and stuff like that, and that just added on and crippled the whole movement. And there are also people who say stuff like there was a lot of like sexual assault and stuff like that within the ranks and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't exist. I'm sure it did to an extent, but I think the largest issue was that there was a calculated destabilization of like any movement that you can think of during that civil rights period, that their whole hierarchy was like destabilized. And it was, I mean, it's literally documented, what I'm saying, by government agencies. So yeah, I don't want to say like it was a detriment because of that. It was because it was a calculated program that was funded by an entire government. So yeah, that's the problem. And that's the thing. There had to be a reason that they did it. Obviously, if they did it, they clearly felt as though like the movements were going to change the whole dynamic of the country in general. So
I mean,
yeah.
that's a fact. I mean, when you think about Huey Newton, from my readings and my learnings and stuff like that, he's the one that started the whole like lunch program within
Mm-hmm.
schools and stuff like that. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
most definitely, like they say, you hear even today, you hear the easiest way to gain a man is through his stomach. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if you feeding children and stuff like that, you're curing their hunger. Um, then of course. So I definitely feel that. But my bad, Nixon. I ain't mean
Oh
to
no, you good, brother. You good.
cut you off, brother.
That's my answers is not about to be nowhere near those deep. So a person that I had to interview probably be Cat Williams.
You a
Uh,
funny ass dude. Oh my god, dog.
so probably gonna be Cat
Yeah,
Williams because
Be
what
for
they,
real.
you know,
Hey,
they
he
really
is a
say.
lightning rod. His next interview would definitely do numbers. So
Okay, I'm about to say I'm out of there. I guess, and then if I had to pick like a serious person, even though I was kind of serious about Cat Williams, Barack Obama. Just because I would have questions to see like, because people say like his hands was tied with like a lot of decisions and things to try to see like truly how the office is ran and things like that. So did he get to accomplish things that he wanted to, like everything he wanted to? Some things he didn't. So that'd probably be my person. That's it. Not deep.
feel
I'm with
it.
it, all. Like,
Feel it.
yeah, I look with you.
This man said Cat Williams,
You
dog.
muted, Brad.
my bad. I'd say, hey, we could have got bro on like today. That would have been crazy. Like we'd have had sponsorships and everything.
Hey, nah, because he was going. You could have literally said, "Hey, Cat, how you doing?" Nah, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Uh,
And he would have just started talking on his own. I was like, okay.
nice to meet you. He'd have been like, yeah, Steve Harvey looked like Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, man.
How I know Cat Williams like did his thing and shook like social media. My brother called me today, and I'm thinking like something wrong. He was like, "Hey, what you think about Cat Williams?" I was like, "What?" I said, "What? You watch YouTube?" I was so confused. I was like, "Okay, well, hey, I know he didn't went across the screen."
And I mean, the video is at 26 million views right
Yeah,
now in 3 days.
But you know what though? I feel like there's a reason that it said 26 million views because he done dropped a lot of like stuff, as far as like specials and stuff like that. I feel like there's a reason that it's at 26 million, brother. I ain't gonna say that like everything that he said was factual. I don't know. I ain't never been in them rooms. But if you hear a lot of these people that's coming behind them,
Yeah, I think I think with those type of conversations, I think everybody is like grasping on wanting there to be this like elites where like, oh, to get famous or to get rich you got to go in there and do some like blood ritual or like sexual ritual to get on. And I don't necessarily know if that is exactly how it is. I don't know if it's that like like I don't think it's that detailed like how people think. I think there's just a sense of like
shut up. It
humiliation
is.
that people you think that
hey, I definitely do. I
I
definitely do.
don't
Because, and the reason I say that I do is like, okay, the way that I think of it or the way that I look at it, right, is like, can't one, like I always heard coming up was, can't one man have too much power? So, a lot of people say money is power, right? So,
Mm,
when you think of it, for me, it's like, I can't give you too much money and not have no dirt on you. Yeah, you can get all this money, but at a certain point, I'm gonna have to slow your roll because like I'm gonna need something to like pull the curtain back. If you get out of hand and I can't, get no grasp on you, so to speak. That's me. I mean, I don't know. I could
nah,
be
I
wrong.
feel that.
I ain't been in a position to where it's like, but
Yeah,
I mean,
nah, I feel that, but I think that is somewhat true, but I don't think that it's what people
yes.
think. I don't think that it's like
Yeah.
I don't think that there's like a club key that you get and like, oh, go up to room 32 and they're like people standing there like, hey, you're gonna get $150 million if you do this, like weird act that we can hold against you. It's just there. I think there is a good old boys club. Just like if you like, I see certain stuff like that in the military, like not necessarily like that type of stuff, but like there's this good old boys club
Yeah.
where like, hey, there are certain people that get cool, and like if you with that group, you
then you
might,
good.
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
get
You getting
special
ranked.
privileges. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
You getting
saying?
ranked.
And then if you not with that group
But
and you piss them off, they will exaggerate things that have been said. They will hold on to certain things that they've seen, and they will get you up out of there the moment that they can.
But brother,
That's how I think it's like. I don't think that it's like a. I don't think that it's like, hey, you got to go up here. We filming you to do something crazy, just in case you do something. You get on our nerves, and we go humiliate you and get you up out of there because it's so easy to manipulate the
the
media.
narrative.
And
Yeah.
yeah, in the narrative, like they don't necessarily need to do all of that. Media has always kind of like shaped what people think and say about you. So that's always, I feel like that's the humiliation and thing and the sacrifice thing that people really think it is. It's like, no, you just gonna get your ass tore up in the media because they can make the smallest thing seem like a huge thing. And all we need is like a few people, to a few of our people, like, oh, we all in the same group, we all hang out, we all like each other. Hey, it's the same thing. I see it all the time in the military. There's a little good old boys club, and yeah, I think that's more of what it is than like the sacrifices and rituals. I just think that people hang on and say those things because that's what's gonna get people going and understanding and like running with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more of a like it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you use it as a symbolic thing, symbolic is like, yeah, you did get screwed over by Hollywood. They did fuck you over because they got, they
Yeah.
you went and wore a dress. You know what I'm saying? Like because all these execs, all they got to do is say like, oh, we think that's funny, you should wear it, and you say no. It's like, all right, bet. The next time when it's time for us to look for a person, they be like, hey, what y'all think of so and so? Well, he kind of is hard to like he doesn't get it, like yeah, let's probably not go with him. He seems to be a rebel, and then every time you go, and if it's the same group of people that agrees or hires, and that's the image that you get, then boom, you've been blacklisted. That's how it goes. It's the same thing in a lot of organizations. That's what I think it really is. I don't think it's like, yeah, I don't think it's you go up there and there's some like demon upstairs that's about to like blow your booty hole open. Like I don't think it's that. I just don't believe that. I really don't think
Hey, I
that's
don't know.
how
Have
it
you
goes.
seen Goblin Slayer? Hey,
Hey.
Nah, I still ain't seen it, and I'm not.
I don't know. Goblin Slayer look crazy now. Hey, no, I'm just talking crazy. But I do. I mean, yeah, I can kind of see that. I don't necessarily think. I definitely agree. I don't necessarily think that it's something that always is like sexual in nature or something like that. But I also think too, it's like all it takes is what they say. What does how the saying go? Look, I'm gonna use sayings all episode. One bad apple to ruin a bunch. You know what I'm saying? If you get one person, if they can infiltrate one person inside your circle, and all that person got to do is catch you saying one thing that you ain't supposed to be saying, it's over with. It's a wrap. Like, and they have the money, the resources, whatever the case may be, to do that. So, I mean, you look at something like we was talking about earlier. Like you look at Huey Newton. Even with that, like it can easily go south real fast. So, yeah, I agree with
No,
that.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I fuck with it.
yeah. All right. Is that all we got, or y'all got another one, or what y'all want to do?
I don't got another one.
Okay. I will bet that up then. I guess we will call it one. Um, they said we here with a new year of the
Hey,
New Hood
I,
podcast.
yes, sir.
Tap in,
Bet.
share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Hit us in the
I
inbox if
bet.
you got a question.
All right. Get y'all next week.